guys? So today I am jumping into absolute termination with a pretty spicy grenade build for the tactical. Now I am using a relic stalker, but target lock with improved efficiency. It's very nice. Basically, you scan at least 3 majors and you get a grenade back, and radiating impact also really good. So this tactical can do a couple explosions. So there, just throw a grenade and whiff it, but I managed to get the grenade back because I scanned pretty much 4 or 5 majors there. And then there's also radiating impact just in case, you know, if I need more explosions. There, I think it missed, but you can pretty much see the explosive potential with this build. And I'm kind of cooking on it because I'm not the best at recon, but I do manage to get free grenades in this operation. But I also managed to whiff grenades as well, which is kind of rough. That's really why we have radiating impact, just because if you miss your grenades, you can still get some sort of crowd control, explosion, you know, damage. And make sure, honestly, radiating impact is very strong. It's very nice in absolute because of the new difficulty scaling. And also, I would assume grenades get the difficulty scaling as well. Just like in lethal, they get a big damage boost because it has to balance around enemies' HP. But yeah, there's another free grenade. So just chuck the grenade there. I have the frags on this one, but I do go for the cracks. But yeah, now in this fight, there's 2 majors right here. It's definitely dangerous. I think the crack grenades are, boom, radiating impact right there. That's some good explosion. Good explosion damage that took out the major. But yes, I would recommend the crack grenades for the basically getting your equipment charge back. Oh yeah, we get a bulwark, so we have some nice contested health support, and then we're also doing some extra gun strike damage, which is nice. Now here, see, one of those majors just died before I used the scan, so I did not get a grenade there. That is pretty much where you want to be careful with it. I think the other stipulation is 10 minors, but I'm not sure. It also might just be 10 enemies in general. But yeah, I think it's easier just to aim for 3 majors, get the scan, and then get a free grenade. And the thing is though, you start to hold on to it until you see 3 majors. So we are going to see a moment where I kind of have a hard time placing a scan. Now we are getting cornered by spore mines. And recently, I think the devs mentioned the spore mines obviously were a bug. I would hope so, because yeah, this is insane. So eventually we will see them fix that, which is, you know, hopefully sooner rather than later. But I'm going to go, we will likely talk about this later. But spore mines are a problem. This is kind of a tough situation in general. The thing about radiating impact is you can basically waste it if you don't keep track of its cooldown. I really do wish we had like some sort of icon for it. Maybe we do, and I'm just not paying attention to it or something. But like, I feel like we need more icons for our perks. Just for the cooldown perks, to be honest. Just so we can keep track of it. And then we also have a better, idea on when to activate it or not, basically. Now here, there is a scan, free grenade, boom. And radiating impact, boom. See, that's insane. The mob clearing capabilities of this build it definitely has some potential. I think this is actually a really fun way to build a tactical as well. Just have some extra grenades and also have radiating impact to just get some nice damage going. And then obviously you have the scan buff for the grenades to deal 75% extra damage. Nice little rolling attack in there, which is kind of interesting. But also, I gotta say, the Relic Stalker does a good job at pretty much doing the damage when I'm not throwing a grenade. I am genuinely curious of how many grenades I can get through an operation. I think this one I ended up with either 4 or 5 free grenades, like one of those. But I still think you know, scan is it's a good skill. But it was a lot easier to it's likely a lot easier to get more grenades when you have some cooldown support. And it doesn't seem like we have a lot of cooldown support with this current team synergy. We do have really nice contested health support, which is also really good for absolute. So, like, it's interesting. We were just talking about how the heal economy in absolute and all that. I think now running the contested health perks are just really important, at least one or two of them, because that is essentially the way you're going to be able to heal, is just get a large amount of contested health back. Also, Guardian Relics are, you know, they're strong, but dude, honestly, Guardian Relics, whenever I see them, I kind of just, you know, I'm like, okay, so one free down, you know what I mean? I go down, I use it, I come back up. I know you're supposed to wait for your teammates, but sometimes you get moments like this where a Biovore is just out there and I go instantly down and I know I have to get up because we might not be able to finish this fight unless I get up. So, yeah, I quickly used the Guardian Relic there. And I did manage to drop a scan, so we had some extra damage. I don't think I hit the stipulation, though. Or I might have, but regardless, I do have crack grenades, so that's strong. Yeah, the spore mines were pretty difficult, but we do manage to deal with that. At least I think it was a Biovore. We fight a lot of stuff, and dude, I have to say, this was actually not too bad of a termination run, but termination, absolute. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's probably the toughest Tyranid mission. I feel like, you know, when we have tough missions like Termination, where it's like, oh, okay, on Ruthless, it's kind of sweaty, right? But then in Lethal, it like takes a step up. When it goes to Absolute, it takes an even further like step into the direction of difficulty, basically. Like if it's one step above Ruthless, for Absolute, it's 2 steps above Lethal. You know what I mean? So Termination can get some seriously crazy game director encounters. Like you can run into a Terminus enemy in a corner in the middle, or not the middle, in the beginning of the operation. So it's essentially kind of like Reliquary, where, see right there, that's a waste of a radiating impact. But yeah, in Reliquary, you can get also a Terminus right in the beginning, and what essentially happens is you guys get, you know, team checked right there. Are you able to take out this Terminus? If not, okay, back to the loading screens, you know what I mean? So, yeah, you just have to be careful with Absolute. Always be on your toes. When you first start your operation, there's no ramping up. You start right in the eye of the fights where you're just, you know, you just see waves after waves after waves. There's like no hanging out. So now with Termination, I do think part of the difficulty here is the fact that you fight 2 Terminus enemies, because we do get a Carnifex here. Now see, I'm counting the enemies. I see 2 majors. Unfortunately, I do not get the free grenade here, but I do get a really nice scan on the Carnifex here, and with the Stalker, I get some nice damage. But yeah, see, that's the one thing about the equipment charge perks, is you have to run into the stipulations. I have to use scan with 3 majors. I do think it's worth it. I do think it's worth it to play around it. So I'm definitely going to try to get better with scan. And the assault goes down right there. Very tragic. It was definitely a rough jump. But still, the equipment charge perks are good. It's just you have to start really noticing what, you know, you have to start, whenever you see 3 majors, you need to make sure that you take advantage of it. Because if that, oh yeah, look at this Carnifex just follow me. That's so scary because I need ammo for the Stalker here. But yes, you really have to start playing around those perks, and that can be pretty tedious. But free grenades is worth it. Free grenades is worth it. And yeah, I haven't used scan that much recently. I've been playing Sniper and Bulwark. And even before the patch, I was playing a lot of Vanguard. The thing is, Tactical was my first class I had leveled up to 25. And Tactical is also just, honestly, it's fun. I like playing scan. Some people think Tactical's pretty basic, but I think with the way they buffed Tactical's perks, Tactical has a fair amount of build options. It just can be a tad bit difficult to play around the specific scan you want to use, or the specific weapon. So sometimes you just really have to really pinpoint what you're trying to accomplish with the build and just focus on that for tactical. I do still want to go back to tactical to go for a melee build. But melee tactical is kind of an awkward placing for certain teams because tacticals, like for example, right here, I have a bulwark teammate and an assault teammate who is currently respawning. I am the ranged option here. If I wasn't using the stalker and wasn't built towards having, you know, I do believe I'm using the extra penetration bullet perk, but I still have a scan that does extra damage, and I still have I believe I'm using the gunstrike ranged damage perk as well. Either way, I definitely needed a strong ranged option to help our team get over these difficulty humps, especially with that Carnifex that we just saw. That I basically just had a really nice ranged placing for it. Now here's one of those moments. So I do miss like a fair bit of my scans here for this, you know, the 3 major stipulation. But here, like right here, there's 1-2 majors. I was really hoping to just see another major just jump into here. So I kind of panicked. I miss 1 major for this. However, what I mentioned earlier, radiating impact is for these moments where it's like, oh, I need a grenade, but I don't have it. Well, I do have that explosion, and it takes out this extremist, and we get the ball rolling on this Biotitan Terminus battle. We did pretty good as a team for this, but I've shown a Biotitan fight recently in full, so I do cut up a little bit of this fight. However, I always show the important mobbing moments, and honestly, dude, I have to say I'm really enjoying the chainsword. The chainsword is fun, and tactical just makes a good use out of melee, and having a chainsword and the stalker is just a really good. It's just a really good combo. Now there, I knew I didn't have scan ready in anytime soon. Inner Fire would likely be really good with this grenade build setup. But still, I picked up the shock grenade. I just used it for this fight so we can get through it. Boom, big gun strike there. And we are able to finish off that encounter, which is nice. Here's a Ravener, which is rough. See, but here's one of those awkward moments I'm mentioning, where I'm trying to look for 3 majors to use my scan, but I could just use a scan right now to take out the Ravener. However, there's also the parry and scan your enemy, the enemy that you parried perk, but that is in the same row or in the same column of the more equipment damage. Now this, I apologize to the Bulwark for taking this, for taking that execution. I did not see that banner. I did not see that banner coming. I could not link up a banner with the Bulwark the entire game. He wasn't really looking to banner anybody, but he was clearly going to heal there. And I just, yeah, I even said at the end of the operation, I was like, Bulwark, I'm sorry for that execution steal. That was so bad. I think I was just kind of zeroed in on taking out as many enemies as I could see here. It was very embarrassing. I'm sorry, Bulwark. I'm sorry for stealing your heal there. Luckily he does not go down. I started to try to play around him as well because I kind of felt bad about it. So I was like, dude, this Bulwark is not dying on my watch. I am going to kill everything that's in the Bulwark's way. It's funny. I really did apologize after the operation. It was such an awkward execution. Still, the Bulwark was able to take out the Ravener, which is nice. I'm also on the recharge duty for the operation here, for the Terminus objective. I do like this fight. Like, honestly, I do like fighting the Bio-Tyrant, even though it's just like you laser it and then he just shoots these insane, like, acid mortars at you. It's just, holy cow, it's so much damage getting hit by the Bio-Titan in Absolute and the higher difficulties. You just get shredded by those things. Luckily, we were able to hit every laser, and we are able to take out the Bio-Titan with it was kind of not that bad. The Carnifex fight was way worse than that one. But yes, Radiating Impact. And, you know, basically getting your grenades back with the scan. It's just a lot of explosions. It's very nice. I do manage to crack 10k range damage, but I almost had 5k melee as well, which is actually some pretty good damage numbers there. Tactical's very strong. Grenade tactical build. I like it.